We all have things that we're waiting for, a dream to come to pass, problem to turn around, or to meet the right person. When it's taking longer than we thought, it's easy to get discouraged, to become impatient, and think, when is it ever going to happen? But sometimes it's not happening because we're not prepared for what God has prepared. You're ready for what you have in mind, but if you could see what God has in mind, you would realize you couldn't handle it right now. You need more time to grow, to develop, to gain experience. You may not see anything changing, but something is happening. Patience is working. Your spiritual muscles are getting stronger. You're growing, developing. Patience is building you, getting you prepared so you can sustain what God has coming. Don't discount the waiting periods. Don't get discouraged because it's not happening as fast as you would like. The longer it takes, that means the more God has in store. When it's your time, when He knows you're ready, what you give birth to is going to be much bigger than you've imagined. Maybe you've been praying, believing, being your best, but you don't see anything changing. You're tempted to live stressed. Have a new perspective. You're in the weight room. You're not missing out. You're not falling behind. God has you right where He wants you. That promise is right on schedule. Now do your part and wait with a good attitude, not upset, complaining. When is it ever going to happen? When we understand that waiting doesn't mean nothing is happening, doesn't mean God has forgotten about us, it's all a part of the process, then we can stay in faith knowing that at the right time, God will get us to where we're supposed to be. While you wait, be your best where you are. That's a very important time. God is watching to see if you're ready. And here's the key. If what you're praying about isn't changing, then God is using that situation to change you. If it's not working out, then it's working out something in you. All things are working for your good. There's a price to pay to be prepared. In that weight room, when you're doing the right thing but nothing's changing, you have the promise but you're not making progress, remember, something is happening. You're growing. You're developing. You may not like it, but you can't bypass the process. You can't skip the weight room and reach the fullness of your destiny. But the mistake we make too often is we get in a hurry and try to make things happen in our own timing. Sometimes God proves His love to us by what He's not letting us have. Doesn't mean that it's never going to happen. We just have to spend more time in the weight room, growing, developing, gaining experience, learning to trust God, learning to forgive, learning to keep a good attitude when things aren't going our way. The sooner we pass these tests, the sooner God will release what belongs to us. And one reason we get in a hurry is we think we're falling behind. Our friend is getting married, our coworker got promoted, the neighbors moved into a new house. We got to make things happen. We're being left out. Well, here's the key. What has your name on it will not go to anyone else. What belongs to you will not go to another person. Well, Joel, this guy may get away. If I don't do something now, if I don't compromise, he may not stick around. If you have to compromise, he's not the right one. God has somebody ordained for you, somebody better than you can imagine. You won't have to beg them to stay, talk them into calling you, convince them to spending time. They'll be so in love with you, you can't get rid of them. They'll treat you like a queen, like a king. Stay in that weight room. Be patient. You may be ready, but God's still working on the other person. God was showing us no matter how hard someone tries to get what's yours, they may manipulate, connive, ignore, leave you out. The oil is not going to flow to them. What has your name on it is coming your way. The person, the job, the house, the opportunity, the promotion cannot go to anyone else. That's why we don't have to live jealous or envious of other people. Well, Joel, my coworker got the promotion that I worked so hard for. They played politics. It wasn't fair. If it was supposed to be yours, you would have it. Stay in the weight room. Keep a good attitude. Keep growing. Keep passing the test. What God has for you is on the way. The reason it's taking longer is because it's much bigger, much more rewarding than you thought. When you see what God did, you'll say, it was worth the wait. When you see the person God brings into your life, somebody better than you've dreamed, you'll say, it was worth the wait. Now maybe the door didn't open for you. The job, the position, the relationship didn't work out. That means God has something better. Stay in faith, and one day you'll see it was worth the wait. I read where an elephant is pregnant for almost 2 years. The animal is so large, it takes a long time for the baby elephant to develop. The elephants give birth to only one baby per pregnancy. A dog, on the other hand, is pregnant for only 63 days. After 2 months, the mother can give birth from between 5 and 8 puppies typically. Imagine the elephant and dog having a conversation. The dog says, I don't think you're pregnant. I gave birth after 2 months. Something is wrong with you. The dog goes out and gets pregnant again and again, giving birth every several months. 2 years later, the dog comes back to the elephant with 30 puppies following him. He says, I know you're not pregnant now. Look at all these puppies. I've given birth multiple times. The elephant says, no, here's the difference. The reason you've given birth so many times and I'm still pregnant is because what I'm carrying is not something common, not something usual. I'm about to give birth to something big, something out of the ordinary. Maybe you've been in that weight room a long time. You've seen people accomplish dreams, get married, move into their houses. That's great. Be happy for them. But the reason it's taking so long for you is because what you're carrying is not a puppy. It's not something small. You're about to give birth to something you didn't know was in you. God's about to open a door that you didn't see coming. Don't get discouraged because it's taking longer. That's a sign that you're carrying an elephant. What you give birth to is going to surprise people. A dream, a ministry, a business that touches the world. You're going to go further than you thought. Make a greater impact than you've imagined. That's why you've been in the weight room so long. When people tell you, I don't know, I don't think you're pregnant, it would have happened by now, you still think you're going to meet the right person, still think you're going to get the promotion, still think you're going to pay your house off. You've been believing a long time. Just say, yeah, I know a secret. I'm carrying an elephant. When you give birth, you're going to say, look what the Lord has done. It's going to be more than you've imagined.